Theory. It's impossible for an atheist to be a hypocrite. Meanwhile, it's very easy for a Christian to be a hypocrite. Here is what inspired this theory. I recently made a video called, "Is an Atheist a Hypocrite If They Casually Celebrate Christmas?" Got a lot of good comments in here. I want to specifically share this one. It challenged me the most. Tovek had this to say, quote, "Of course it is not hypocritical for an atheist to celebrate Christmas. It isn't even hypocritical if an atheist decided to attend church or do all the religious ceremonies. That's because atheism has no dogma and no edicts. Basically anything an atheist does is not and cannot be hypocritical in relation to atheism. The only thing which remotely gratifies is if an atheist believed in a God, but at that point they disqualify themselves from the definition of atheist, so it solves itself rather quickly. And that's of course ignoring that Christmas is a secular holiday and it is far more about Santa and presents and family rather than anything to do with Jesus, and that Christmas is actually just adopted elements of pagan religious holidays and secular events," end quote. Now, please know I'm very aware of the fact that Christianity rebranded a pagan holiday and made it Christmas and made it more popular and more commercialized and more marketable. Fully aware of that. But I do want to talk about the part that challenged me of this comment. In theory, in regards to their belief system, is that a fair term to use? It's a belief system, and as far as atheism, it's a belief system in which there is no dogma or edict. So there's nothing that an atheist can do or say that negates what they believe. It's impossible for an atheist to be a hypocrite when it comes to what they believe about not believing, right? Okay, I never thought about that until today, and I feel like I've learned something today. If nothing else, I'll learn that. But I do want to point out that whereas it's impossible for an atheist to be a hypocrite or even be perceived as one, because yes, the moment they would do anything that would imply they believe in God, as far as their actual beliefs, then they're no longer an atheist, right? With that being said, I would say that it's very easy for a Christian to be a hypocrite, or maybe even more relevantly, it's easier for a Christian to be perceived as a hypocrite. Because think about this. While this channel is not specifically anything Christian itself, what I like to do is I like to talk about all kinds of things, knowing that we're such a broad audience. So many of my viewers and subscribers are international. I've learned most of my subscribers and viewers are actually not Christian or not even religious at all. So I love having these conversations because we can be challenged by each other without trying to convert each other. And I like that. I think that's fun and interesting and unique and interactive. But it's funny because I can easily be perceived as a hypocrite in so many ways just by the things that I say on here. If I come across too arrogant, then someone can say, well, you're a hypocrite because Christians, aren't they supposed to be humble? And you seem very arrogant, you seem very full of yourself. You know, someone could perceive that. Now, what's funny is I think I make a pretty strong effort to remind everyone how I am ignorant, and I know that. But then other people could say, well, you know, as an American, some of the things you say seem so ethnocentric, and that would be prideful, and Christians aren't supposed to be prideful. You know, here's one that came up. I've mentioned before that not that I was a missionary, but I was on mission projects many times in my life. I've been overseas. Like, for example, I was a teacher 2 summers in Thailand, okay, at a Christian school where most of the students were Buddhist. So they were there for a native, English-speaking person to go there and teach them their English, and it was a Christian school, so they had Bible lessons and that sort of thing. And the parents knew that was fine by them, even though they were Buddhist. They just wanted their kids to have exposure to a native English speaker, right? So people have said, well, they basically implied that I'm a hypocrite. People in the comment section of the videos, and maybe some of you, implied that it's kind of hypocritical of me because I didn't really care about the people. I just wanted them to convert. The thing is, though, I fully became immersed in their culture. I learned the language as much as I could during those 2 summers. I traveled. I fully experienced their culture and their food and appreciated them for who they were. But some will still say, nope, that's selfish, that's greedy, because ultimately, what you did over there as an English teacher at that school ultimately was in the name of your religion, and ultimately you hoped that they would convert. So therefore, that discredits everything. So even that, people have taken that to basically mean that I am a selfish person, even if I helped people in the process learn English, which on a secular level will help them later on in life if they can speak English better, and if that's important where they are in the world to be able to be bilingual and understand English. So easily a Christian can be perceived as a hypocrite, even though it's being a dogma, we believe that we're all born sinners. So we're very aware of the fact of how imperfect we are. We acknowledge this, and without acknowledging that, can you really be a Christian? Because if you don't believe that you're born a sinner, then what are you saved from, and who's saving? Why do you need to be saved? What's the point in Jesus? What's the point in good and evil and being saved from our evil selves and all that stuff? So there you go. Very easily, I can be accused of being a hypocrite just because people can perceive that I am selfish or greedy or arrogant. That alone can easily make me a hypocrite, because Christianity teaches against being selfish. But if someone accuses an atheist of being arrogant or selfish, it's not going against his own belief system as far as a non-belief system of atheism. So would you agree, though? It's very easy for a Christian to at least be perceived as a hypocrite, but as far as an atheist, you can't be a hypocrite without you no longer being an atheist. I think this is fascinating, and I want to keep digging on this. I want to keep exploring. So I think you need to leave some more comments right here. Why? Because I'm ignorant. I don't know enough. I need to learn. Maybe somehow I'll be less of a hypocrite if you teach me more right here.